For almost 80 years, the aircraft carrier has been the most powerful warship on the high seas. Just over 6 decades ago, the carrier reached a new level of potency and the angled deck was introduced. Some carriers were refitted with it while others were designed with the advanced tech from the get-go. But how did a shift in the deck make carriers even deadlier? First, let's take a look at how carriers operated in World War II and, to a large extent, in the Korean War. The naval aviation workhorse of those conflicts, the Essex-class carrier, had a straight deck design. To deliver some hurt to the enemy, carriers would launch, deck load, strikes, sending off most of their air group. Worse still, if the whole deck had to be clear for every landing, the number of aircraft operated at any one time would be low and the speed with which they could be recovered would be slow. The angled deck solved this dilemma by providing a landing runway that was longer than the portion of the deck aft of the existing barriers. The sum of the lengths of the landing and launch/parking areas was greater than the length of the ship. Trials were carried out on an angled deck painted on HMS Triumph. On USS Antietam, the first carrier actually fitted with a full angled deck in 1953, and in HMS Centaur, the first British angled deck carrier, in 1954. The angled design, invented by Rear Admiral Dennis Campbell of the British Royal Navy, and presented to America in 1951, offered a few distinct advantages over other options. In the case of an aborted landing, an angled runway gave returning planes plenty of room and open air to speed up and take off again. Better yet, this angled design kept carriers from having to sacrifice any on-deck parking space for planes not currently in flight. It's a simple bit of geometry, but with big implications, ones that carry forward to the modern day. Jets were a game changer for several reasons. They were faster and heavier and, thus, needed more space to stop. They also didn't have the endurance to wait for other planes to launch. So, how could they find the runway space needed to operate these new tools of war? Building larger carriers wasn't a complete solution. This wouldn't eliminate the issue of stopping jets should they fail to catch the wires. The trials were successful, so successful that every carrier navy moved to copy the idea quickly, led by the USN. Not only did the angled deck provide a longer runway in which the arrestor wires could be moved nearer the center of the pitch to make landing easier in bad weather, but other advantages soon became apparent. There was no longer a need for a barrier since, with clear deck space ahead of the wires, an aircraft that missed the wires, known as a bolter, could open the throttle to go round for another circuit. The area to starboard of the runway gave clear parking space for a number of aircraft, allowing rapid multiple aircraft recoveries and a deck park for refueling and rearming.